interrupting your regularly scheduled program for a special report out of Columbia, South Carolina. The Confederate battle flag is coming down right now on the State House grounds. Let's take you there live. We'll take a closer look. An honor guard literally pulling that flag down as we speak. This is the situation on the ground as literally hundreds, if not thousands of people on the scene. Let's just listen in as people cheer as this flag comes down. This honor guard is said to be the very same honor guard that also guided the casket of the Reverend Clemente Pinckney into the State House. He, of course, is the pastor who was killed at Emmanuel AME Church. That shooting where 9 people were killed, ultimately leading to the debate to bring down this flag. We are told that this honor guard that you see here is the same honor guard that brought his casket into the State House. This is obviously something that has been decades in the making. The debate over the flag here, this Confederate flag that was on the South Carolina State House property, has been going on for quite some time. In 2000, this flag was taken down off of the Golden Dome on top of that and then put where it stands or stood now until today. This was, of course, a monument, a Confederate monument. All in all, though, all of this goes back many, many years. In fact, the Confederate flag at the state capitol there dates back to about 1938. It was raised in the House chambers initially. The Senate then displayed that flag in 1956 before placing it atop the State House dome in 1962. Then, as I said, in 2000, it was moved outside to where it once stood. Now, that flag has come down, and it will ultimately be moved to a museum right down the street. The museum, of course, is a museum that collects and preserves South Carolina military artifacts from the Revolutionary War all the way up until now. That museum is now going to be the home for that flag you just saw there. In fact, the museum is right down the street from the State House. There's still no word exactly how the exhibit is going to be, where that flag is going to be held, but it is going to be moved to that museum. Thousands of people literally standing there watching this historic moment, and it truly is that. This is an historic moment, a moment that many people in this state have fought for. There are people from both sides of the issue on hand here watching as all of this unfolds. Momentarily, we're expecting to see this honor guard hand the flag off to the curator of that museum I was telling you about. The curator is then ultimately going to take it to the museum. I'm also told that Nikki Haley is on site. She, of course, walked out of the State House probably 10 or 15 minutes ago. And so we're going to watch as this honor guard kind of makes its next steps, and as this flag in their hands makes its next step. You know, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance to that, and really that's one of the things that South Carolina lawmakers wanted to avoid. They wanted to make this as quiet as possible. As you can see, there's no music being played here, not much fanfare. Just the respect of taking this flag down by the honor guard now marching out and taking the flag onto its next resting place, which again is going to be a museum that's not far from the State House. Wow, what an historic moment, and all of these people who have shown up to watch it. Though you're not able to be there in person, you're able to watch it here through us, and so we do definitely appreciate you being here with us to witness this. We'll just kind of watch this honor guard march up and hand the flag off to whomever they're going to hand it off to. It is a slow and a very methodical process, but there really is beauty in all of this as we're witnessing history. And now you see the flag being handed off to a gentleman. We, of course, assume that that is the curator of the museum where that flag is going to be held. He is now walking off through the crowd, people clapping as he kind of passes them, and he will once again take this flag to the Confederate Relics Room in the Military Museum there in South Carolina, right down the street from the state capitol there in Columbia. You can also see some American flags flying here in the foreground. There is the governor, Nikki Haley, shaking hands with lawmakers who have come to see all of this happen. Lawmakers literally from both sides of the aisle, Republicans, Democrats, all on board with taking down this flag, many of them saying that it was about time. But again, the other side of the issue, there are a lot of people who are saying this is about heritage for them. It's not about racism, it's about heritage, and many people wanting that flag to continue to fly because they feel taking it down is infringing on their heritage and not paying homage to their heritage. So there are definitely still many very emotional people on either side of this particular issue. We, of course, will have continued coverage on WCCBCharlotte.com throughout the day. You can also watch this live streaming, the flag's removal, here on WCCBCharlotte.com. We'll also have the sights and sounds for you tonight on WCCB News at 10. But you just watched the flag there come down in South Carolina. Took just moments. An honor guard walked up, brought down the flag, unreeling it, folded it up, handed it over to the curator of the museum where that flag is now going to call home. That curator then walked off and took the flag back to its next resting place. Once again, we'll have more coverage for you tonight on WCCB News at 10. For now, we'll get you back to your regularly scheduled program.
This has been a live WCCB News special report.